first off, I want to give a shout out to 2 people who had 100-point games this year. Holly had a 100-point game, 102-point game. And poo-poo on your parade. Nate also had a 102-point game. Nate set the new league record, which was set last year, 101-point game. Well, yeah, I can keep talking while she makes her way out. Most points scored in a season. And I have the stats for everything but 1 Cherries game and 2 All-Star games. So, over 711 points were scored this year.
Oh my God.
She also wore the star over 100 times.
Wow.
So all league records. Over 100 jams, 131 points in the game, 711 points for the season.
Woo! Oh, Canada.
So that's a good starting point for next year.
Thanks, dude.
Okay then. Just mix it up a little bit. Okay. There are a couple of random awards spread throughout, just to break up all the jammer monotony and all the Canadian trips up here. It's often been said it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. So I made a trophy for that last night, actually. And that goes to somebody who I regularly see skate against people twice her size, and she does not back down at all from them. You'd be like, hey, stay on her. Okay, and she'll go right after them. The whole jam, get knocked down a time or 2, jump back up, charge right into them. You know, no questions asked. I've seen her get hit, like essentially like a bug on the windshield of a Mack truck. Look up at me with the look in her eyes, like, dear God, please let me call this. And she's got up and kept going. So pound for money, there's a lot of tough ladies in this room right now, but pound for pound, she's got to be one of the toughest. So, I made an award for it. Spunk, which the dog's name is actually Spunky. Determination, tenacity, and doggedness. Holly. Okay, the jammer with the best percentage of leads throughout the season. 61.8% of the time she was lead jammer, Frequent Alicia. That's down a little from last year. Okay, one of the big elements, and again they were kind of split here and there, one of the big elements towards Jammer of the Year is the points per jam average. And this jammer maintained throughout the course of the year 8.12 points per jam. Rotten.
Awkward, rotten.
Okay, person that partook in the most jams throughout the entire season, over 254 jams, goes to Biohazard.
Bio is BA. Badass. Rock. What is it? Oh, it's a truck. Oh. They are. Never mind.
She is.
To keep things interesting, I made, or looked up rather,
I know.
the best jammer, looking at Rotten Cherry stats only. The best Rotten Cherry jammer at 4.92 points per jam. Bacon.
Keep the applause going, keep it going.
I know.
The Rotten Cherry with the best blocking stats goes to Malibu Meanie.
Doesn't know how to.
I heard my name. Thanks, Sophie!
Okay, and again, one of the off awards. There's no real smooth segue into it, so we'll just switch gears. I've been known to smack skaters in the helmet from time to time, be it during a game, practice, scrimmage, whatever. And I'm always justified in doing so. But sometimes it's for something good, something bad. Usually I'm just wound up at the time. But there was one person whose helmet got smacked more this year than anybody else's. So I felt she ought to get at least something for that. So the most smacked helmet award goes to Go-Go.
Never look at the scoreboard again.
Yeah, that is a favorite story. I don't remember where we were. We were getting trounced in the first half pretty good. We started playing in the second half, business as usual. I always have the team go look at the scoreboard. I take care of that. That's my job. So she's sitting at the end of the pivot, ready to play pivot at the end of the bench. I look up, I see the scoreboard, and I had noticed, because I quit looking at it too, that we had closed like a 60-point gap up to like 8 points. And I glance up and say, wow, check out the score. She turns and looks at the scores. Bam! She's like, but you told me to. So, anyways, that was my favorite. So, out of all the jams, all the league records set, number of league jam percentages coming in second, points per jam average coming in second or third, amongst all the other ones, the jammer of the year needs to go to Canadian. It's more pretty twisted though.
Like if I won't use it.
The skater with the best blocking stats overall for the league just beat by Bio last year by this much. Would not be denied this year. That would be Rage. Okay then. Yeah. Pretty much. Coach Cleavage Award of Excellence. It's never been defined exactly what that entails. For the first 2 years, it went to people that had spent countless hours behind the scenes, administration-wise, making the league run. So it's calling attention to them for that. This year, I want to call attention to another skater who, for several years, has been one of my problem skaters, one of my problem childs. She's as good a skater as anybody in the league. She's as strong as anybody in the league. She's got the endurance of anybody in the league, but the biggest foe that she ever came across that would kick her ass 3 out of 4 games was all mental. I've worked with her. I've tried to get her past that. Nothing seemed to work. I got the last laugh though, because we were in Central New York. We were down by 69 points in the first half. We started to come back. Came back. Had Kinnaid call the last jam early. Called a timeout. Forced one more jam. Had a lineup on the line. We needed 25 points to win. The jammer going out had never scored a 25-point jam in competition in her life. It was also a rite of passage for Delirious Pain, who was a blocker in that last jam as well. 3 skaters actually, came to me at the timeout, saw the pack I had, looked back at me and said, "Is that the pack?" I said, "Yeah." "That's who you want? You don't want to change anybody?" I'm like, "Nope." Because I knew it was time. It was time for this jammer to finally get over it and realize that she can live up to the expectations that I have for her as well as she has. She went out and scored 25 points, and we won the game. And the next game we had, she scored a 27-point jam. So it wasn't a fluke. So I like to take credit and thinking I was pretty smart to pull that off. But I will share the rest of the award with Dennis the Menace. So, normally, I give out 1 coach cleavage award.
Ooh, we got 2! A treat!
This one for yet another reason. I thought about this skater, thought about Menace, going back and forth, and it was like, I'm giving them each one. This skater, again, I didn't start with a paper like Go-Go because, much like practice, everybody seems to like the practices I run without the paper, so I figured I'd just shoot from the hip with this. But I had something in mind with my way with my near life and death experiences getting here. But this skater's been around for a while. She always gives at least 100% at all the practices, if not a little bit more. She's come back from injury. She's been in many games before. And I catch most of what goes on with what's actually happening within the league. And then I hear stories on top of that. A lot of them bad, a lot of them good. So if you want to shit talk, chances are 90% chance I'm going to hear about it. So, knock it off. But I do get to hear some good stories too, and the good one that I'm going to illustrate for this isn't an isolated incident with this skater. I've heard of other stories like this, and I'm like, that's pretty awesome. We were in a tournament, and one of the skaters that was playing the first game wasn't having a good day. Actually, was having a really bad day. We finished that game, which we won, en route to this. So, this skater had approached that skater and was like, "Hey, you're in your head, knock it off, get out of it." So she talked to her, got her psyched up, got her ready to play the next game, and go out. Which that skater did that she talked to, went out and went on to play one of the best games she played all year. This person was an alternate that could have easily manipulated her and been like, "Nah, you really suck. I can take your place in the next game if you want." But she, instead of self-promotion, she had the league in mind as well as the other skater in mind. So rather selflessness on her part. Tenacious P. The actual printout of stats for all the awards that were based on stats are all here. If you want to look at them and see exactly where you rank where. It's there.
about. Not really an award so much as love from the lead. We ordered 2 custom black rose roller ties for our wonderful coach here, but Dazzle screwed it up. And they're being sent back, so when we get good ones, you'll have black rose ties. Don't break your leg with dessert. This is a laminated piece of paper. Cherries.
Real quick, Asian now has a live Christmas tree. Show it off, please. This is my live.
Thank you. I will honor it.
So thank you for
Of course she'd never do it.
But as a thank you for picking up our scattered team and taking us to great places in one direction, all together. Not like this, but like this. For dear Olive, we love you, Olive.
No crying either. Crying's for pussy.
Stop it. When do you open it?
Lactating.
When do you open it?
Your baby shower scarred me. Asian too.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's a commemorative of our journey with you. And Misfit put this together, and it's quite lovely.
She's been stalking incessantly all year.
Oh, wow.
Your belly gets bigger and bigger.
This is really great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. So thanks everybody for the award ceremony. Give yourselves a round. Everybody. I love everybody. Anyway,
And we all love you.
except the horse that I don't love. One more announcement to make. The tab is tapped out, so free beer, woo! But you still have access if you want. It's just capped right now. So everybody have a good time. Let's dance it up. We're gonna do the counterpart.